There's a word in Portuguese, saudade. It describes a longing for something you can't quite name. Not sadness exactly, not nostalgia exactly. A bittersweet ache for something felt but undefined. I think hyper-aware people live in a permanent state of saudade, always sensing something just beyond reach, always feeling like the present moment is almost right, but not quite. Like you're homesick for a place you've never been. The philosopher Alan Watts said, "The desire for security and the feeling of insecurity are the same thing." And I think that's what's happening here. The more aware you are of life, its beauty, its fragility, its contradictions, the more you feel both the pull toward it and the grief of knowing it won't last. That's not a disorder, that's depth. Rumi wrote over 800 years ago, "The wound is the place where the light enters you." Your awareness, as heavy as it is the wound and the light. It's the very thing that makes you see people more clearly, love more honestly, and refuse to settle for a life that isn't real.
There's a concept in psychology called metacognition. It means thinking about your own thinking. Most people go through life on autopilot. They feel something, they react. They want something, they chase it. They get hurt, they move on. But a small percentage of people, they feel something and then immediately start analyzing why they felt it. They notice the pattern before anyone else does. They clock the shift in someone's energy the moment they walk in a room. They sense when something is off in a conversation, even when no one has said anything wrong. This is called being cognitively hyper-aware. Some psychologists also connect it to a trait called high sensitivity, studied extensively by Dr. Elaine Aron since the 90s. About 15 to 20% of the population has it. And here's the thing no one tells you about that. High awareness doesn't make life easier, it makes it louder. You're not processing less than everyone else, you're processing more. Every conversation, every glance, every silence, all of it running in the background all the time. That's exhausting, and it can feel indistinguishable from being lost. Now, I'm not going to pretend this is all a gift with a bow on it, because if you're like this, really like this, you also know the other side of it. You overthink everything. Every decision feels heavier than it should. You replay conversations from 3 years ago at 2 a.m. You feel responsible for other people's emotions, even when it has nothing to do with you. You get frustrated by shallow interactions. Small talk feels like sandpaper. You need meaning in the things you do. And when that meaning isn't there, the emptiness hits harder than it would for anyone else. Relationships are complicated because you can see through people, not in an arrogant way, in a way that means you feel the gap between who they present themselves as and who they actually are. And sometimes that's beautiful, and sometimes it's isolating as hell. The philosopher Albert Camus called it the absurd, this confrontation between the human need for meaning and the universe's absolute silence in response. Most people never sit with that. You do, constantly. And yeah, that's hard. So what do you actually do with this? First, name it. Stop calling it anxiety when it's awareness. Stop calling it overthinking when it's pattern recognition. Language shapes identity. If you keep labeling your depth as a defect, you'll keep treating it like one. Second, stop trying to feel less. Most of the advice you've been given is about numbing down. Meditate more, worry less, just relax. That advice was written for a different kind of person. You don't need to feel less, you need to metabolize what you feel faster. Journaling, movement, honest conversations, channels for the signal, not walls against it. Third, find your people. And I don't mean a lot of people, I mean the right people. The ones who don't flinch when you go deep. The ones who say, "I know exactly what you mean," instead of looking at you like you're broken. Because the loneliest thing about being highly aware isn't having too much going on inside, it's thinking no one else does. You're not lost. You never were. You're someone who refused to go numb in a world that rewards numbness. You're someone who kept asking why when everyone else stopped. You're someone who feels the weight of things because you understand their worth. That's not a problem to fix. That's a person to become. Carl Jung said, the most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. So here's what I'll leave you with. What if the feeling you've been running from, that restless, too much, can't explain it feeling, what if that is the path? Not the obstacle, the path. You're not lost. You're just too aware. And that is exactly where you're supposed to be.